This is Michele Godin on a very sad day today. Tom?
I am here, remote.
Yeah. This is Baldy and The Blonde. We have scrapped our show that was planned in light of the murder of Charlie Kirk, which I place firmly and solidly at the hands of the leftist media, and I'm just here to speak for myself and say that I am sick to death over this and over them. I do not want to coexist with them. I am tired of them asking every lunatic in this country to kill us, to pretend that we're racist, that we're fascist, that we're authoritarians, that we're everything that they are, because that is why Charlie Kirk is dead. That is why. No matter what story they come up with as to how and why he was killed, he is killed because of the violence of the left.
I can't argue with any of that. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. It's just,
and we've been listening to their violent rhetoric for a long time, and we do have some things that we've played before, we'll play again, and they are loud and proud with calling for this. I'm not saying they're calling for assassination, but they're
sure they are. Yes, they are.
No, I don't mean explicitly. I don't mean they're not doing that. But we'll hear their words, but they're absolutely calling for violence against the right.
Absolutely, and pretending that they are some sort of towers of virtue, as they explicitly call for violence against us. Some of them explicitly. Maxine Waters, I'm looking at you. Gavin Newsome, looking at you, looking at all of the leftist communist pigs in this country, that I am so sick of being defamed and demeaned by them, and they are ginning up crazies all over the world. And in this case, I'd like to say I'm not even sure it's a crazy, because whatever patsy they pin it on, he was shot, what looks to me to be, what do I know, nothing, professionally. I mean, it could not have been more perfectly placed in his jugular. That is just not some random shot. Like MSNBC actually had the nerve to say that it's probably or could be someone in the crowd celebrating, one of his supporters. Because people on the right that responsibly bear arms and commit no crimes, I might add, none, are usually shooting off guns near someone's head at a rally for celebration. Right.
Yeah, they said,
right.
We don't know what it is. It might be, one of his supporters shooting off a gun in celebration. What? Yeah. They know it's nonsense. I mean, that's a second grader wouldn't come up with that theory. They know it's nonsense. And I'll tell you what.
It's not nonsense. It is evil. It is planned. It is propaganda. It is designed to produce a result. And today it produced it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. If history repeats itself, and it always does, we're never going to get the truth. There's no way.
We never do.
When was the last time we got the truth on something like this? We don't.
We never do. Trump, two shootings. We now have Dan Bongino and Kash Patel at the FBI. Have we heard a damn thing from them?
We don't know.
Nothing.
We don't know anything about those people.
Nothing.
And Kennedy was shot in '63, and the truth's not out.
Las Vegas, nothing.
Oh, that story was garbage, that Las Vegas.
The various transvestites and transsexuals that they cover up for because it doesn't fit their pro-trans agenda, which is an anti-human agenda. And all of this is anti-God, anti-human. And that's what it is.
Well, wait till we hear the clip from Maxine Waters where she says that God is on their side. She actually said that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Charlie Kirk, 2 little kids, a wife. He goes around the country openly debating people on the other side respectfully but forcefully. And guess what? He was doing a hell of a good job, and that's why he's been killed. He has been killed because, I know I say this all the time, but not on the air, but in my family and group of friends, he was headed to be the president of the United States. He was tall, he was handsome, he was smart, he had a wife, he had 2 kids, he was articulate, he was well-known, and he turned the vote around of the youth for Trump. He is a powerful person. It's not just, oh, poor Charlie. No, it is to change the trajectory of the vote in the United States of America. He was that important, and that is why he's dead.
he was probably I don't even have to qualify it with probably. He was the most influential conservative among the youth, for sure.
I wouldn't even limit it to the youth. I think, well, yeah, we can, because who knows with the freaking boomers, my generation, and may they all just, shrivel up and die. But I just hate my people. But
well, let me interject here. You used a word regarding Charlie Kirk that is spot on, and that it was respectful. He was always respectful.
always.
I watched a lot of his videos when he would go to campuses, and sometimes it was just giving a talk. Sometimes it was in a so-called debate, in a round table or something, and always respectful. And then, okay, so I did post. There was a clip posted right before we went on the air, and I was able to get a clip, and somebody on MSNBC talking about how his talk was dangerous and awful. I challenge anybody to. What did he ever say? I've listened to way more Charlie Kirk's words than that MSNBC idiot has. I've never heard him say anything disrespectful.
Never.
Or demeaning.
But Tom, the truth is disrespectful to the left. That's what I'm saying, is that we, for too long, have been, we are the ones that bend over backwards to, follow the rules and be polite. And Charlie Kirk did. But he did not hold back on the facts. And in the last few days, since the murder of the Ukrainian woman, in cold blood, as onlookers did nothing, okay, he has been very vocal. And he has just taken things to a new level of honesty. If we cannot have honest discussions about the problems in this country, it's over. I already actually think it is over. But, that's what he was advocating. So, and he always did so respectfully, but he was brutally honest, and he had facts to back him up. And that is not allowed in the lefty world of politically correct BS.
Well, and if you can't express yourself in words and win your arguments using words, and the left can't, and you try to shut down the other side from using words, that only leaves violence to get your way. And that's what they do. They know that they can't win debates. They speak in bumper sticker slogans.
That's it.
You notice, why is it that most the overwhelming majority of popular podcasts are leaning conservative? Talk radio leans conservative. It's because if you want to talk for a long time, you can't talk in bumper stickers.
That's it.
And the left they talk about.
It's a really good point.
They have their euphemisms, like a woman's right to choose, not killing a baby.
Right.
They have all their euphemisms, and their euphemisms can't stand up to argument, and they want to shut down the other side. Obviously,
by branding you. That's all they got.
And literally by killing. Now we see, and it's because they don't have the wherewithal with their debate, because they don't have the argument on their side. They don't have truth on their side. They don't have honesty on their side. They don't. And so they have to resort to shutting down the other side. And as we now see, if the only way to shut down the guy that you want to shut down is to kill him,
they will. They will. They tried, 3 times with Trump? We, of course, have no answers, but yes, they did. And in one of them, just like in this one, we happen to have a perfect video of the blood pouring out of his neck, lest you be tempted to go out and do what Charlie Kirk did, right? Just letting you know, people on the right, this is the consequence of speaking truth. That's where we are in America, okay?
This was a public execution.
Yes, it was. That's a great way to put it.
Let me say this to anybody who hasn't seen the video. I don't recommend that you seek it out.
I actually do. I think it's time, but if you can take it, it is horrific.
Well, okay, if you can take it, don't feel like you need to, but just, I hate the term trigger warning, whatever. It doesn't trigger. It's not really a trigger, but it's horrific.
It's horrific. And it's professional.
I'm just saying you don't need that image in your head.
Professionally done.
About 1 minute before going on the air, I was talking to my daughter, and I did tell her that. I said, you know what, just the videos are out there. Just don't look at it.
I agree. It's a terrible day. It's a terrible day.
It was like a firing squad in public.
Tom, we have a minute left. Tom's in a different studio, so I have to interrupt with these things. If
Oh,
y'all would
you
like
know
to
what,
call
Michelle?
in, we don't usually take calls, but we will
Yeah,
today.
now's a good time. Give out the number,
It's
please.
504 556 9696, 504 556 9696. If you would like to share your thoughts on this public execution of a leader of the youth conservative movement and believe probably a future president of the United States, killed in cold blood as a result, indirectly or directly, of the leftist drumbeat that conservatives are racist, hateful, mean, fascist. Look at yourselves in the mirror, piglets. We know who you are. God, rest in peace, Charlie. Welcome back. This is Michele Godin, along with Tom Coates. We're here every Wednesday at 4 at Baldy and The Blonde, talking today about the inevitable assassination of Charlie Kirk at the hands of the leftist violence and rhetoric. They have been asking for this for years. The violence against us is increasing, and I believe they probably hit Charlie Kirk because of his tremendous influence and future potential in this country. It's an assassination as far as I'm concerned. And to show you just a few examples of the vicious leftist rhetoric we've been listening to for years, I'll play a clip. Tom, set that clip up, please.
Okay, so I did these like right before we went on the air, and I didn't have a chance. They're clips that I'd done before,
Right.
and I did not have a chance to listen to them, to review them for what was said. I can just remember the first one we're going to hear is Maxine Waters, and she's telling the crowd that when you see a Republican or a conservative out in public, meaning like maybe like a congressman or somebody in the administration, just get in their face. Don't let them have peace. I think she uses says no sleep, no peace. I get the meaning like even go outside their house.
Yeah.
But and wherever they are, get in their face. Then there's a second clip of her, and I don't remember what that one is. I guess we're just going to hear it together.
Well, here we go.
You have members of your cabinet that have been booed out of restaurants.
Right there, she's talking about Huckabee's daughter, who was having dinner at a Washington restaurant with her kids and her husband, and booed out of the restaurant. She's
Huckabee's daughter, the governor of
correct, Arkansas.
Arkansas, right?
Well, and now, yes, yeah, that's correct. And Maxine's cheering that on. Here we go. Continuing in the Christian rhetoric of Maxine Waters.
We have protesters taking up at their house who's saying no peace, no sleep.
And there she is cheering on the protesters at people's houses. That would include, let's see, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, who had people trying to kill him and his family, Rand Paul, who was twice attacked by leftists, and many others.
No peace, no sleep.
No
and
peace,
guess
no
what?
sleep.
We're going to win this battle.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
Because while you try and quote the Bible, Jeff Sessions and others, you really don't know the Bible. God is on our side.
I'm sure God's really proud of y'all today. Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Not welcome anywhere.
Anywhere.
Not even at home will you have peace or
No peace,
sleep.
no sleep. And, a lot of people think, Amy Coney Barrett was scared by this. I mean, that she was scared by the threats made against her.
Well, sure. This stuff is real.
Yeah, it's just so.
You know what?
It's come to fruition. They encourage their people all the time to kill us, and they while they censor us, lock us down, go after Catholics because we were labeled domestic terrorists, Catholics, by the Biden administration. Can you imagine? Catholics. The FBI was infiltrating the traditional Latin portion of the Catholic Church looking for domestic terrorists. And so some lunatic 2 weeks ago, some trans freaking lunatic who believed that, the incendiary encouragements of violence from the left went to a Catholic church and killed children. And this, again, is at their feet, the feet of the bloody-handed, disgusting, violent left.
Well, you don't ever hear it from the right. And
Never.
I mean, I challenge anyone, and if I'm wrong, hey, fine, I want to know if I'm wrong.
Well,
I want to be right about this.
They said Charlie Kirk that his words were violent words.
Oh,
in fact, I'll play in a minute some creep from MSNBC basically saying, well, he used hateful words, and eventually, this is what happens. In fact, I'll play his ass right now. How about
we
him?
do have, he says
He's 93, right?
That is...
Is that
yes,
93?
93,
Okay.
yes.
Here we go.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Yeah.
So two
Awful
things about that.
words.
Awful word. Like, I've never heard him say an awful word.
Never.
And I really mean that. And he was always nice and respectful, and
Yes.
really listened to what the other person was saying when he would go on these campuses. But the other thing I want to say about that clip, maybe play it again,
Yeah.
is the other person that you'll hear there's a man's voice and a woman's voice. You'll hear the woman's voice when the man is starting to say awful words. You got to expect this sort of thing.
Yeah.
She jumps in. She tries to interrupt him.
She's trying to
She's
cover
shutting
it
him
up. Yeah, she's trying to shut him up.
Yeah, I think his name must have been Matt. Go ahead and play that again. Listen.
Yeah,
to
let's
her.
play it again because she not that she disagrees with him. Please.
Well,
I guess she could conceivably, but if she did, would she be at MSNBC? I doubt it. Anyway, more loving words from the left saying that, well, Charlie Kirk's out there with hateful words, meaning he dares to take on the left, and eventually this kind of thing just happens in Miss MSNBC. Things like Matt. Here we go.
She was.
Then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that
Let me start that over again. Say we kind of clipped off the edge. We did the show like in 10 minutes. Okay, so what he says is hateful words lead to hateful actions. Okay, here we go.
then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Matt. Please, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's certain things you're just not supposed to say on the air, even on MSNBC, and that was one of them. The awful words. Well, you couldn't expect to have awful actions.
That's it.
Okay.
So we have a little over a minute. Matthew is on hold and somebody else, a couple of calls holding, but we're going to have to hold you through the break. Let's see if I can play another one really quick of I don't know. We'll just wait. Here we go. MSNBC, the shooter. Let's see if I can play this. Here we go.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration or.
I can't even. I just can't.
What?
We don't know if this is a shooter shooting his gun off in celebration.
Yeah, maybe it could have been a Russian paratrooper. We just don't know yet.
We just
It's a
don't
little
know.
too early to
Yeah.
tell.
No, I'm sure it was one of Charlie's fans shooting off guns into his jugular vein with perfect accuracy. Sounds like it.
Sounds like
Yeah.
it might have been that.
Sounds like, yeah.
That's happened a lot.
It's what we do. Yeah, it's what we do on the right. And, a lot of these things that these creeps on the left criticize Americans for, because it's a majority of Americans, are things that were always thought to be patriotic, honorable principles, such as exemplified and displayed by the life of Charlie Kirk. Honesty, patriotism, hard work,
They hate that.
fidelity to your wife and children, Christianity, not afraid to get out there and put it on the line. He knew his life was in danger. This man is a hero. This is Baldy and The Blonde. We'll be back after the break. We'll take some of your calls, 504-556-9696 on a tragic, horrible day in America.
Hey, this is Tom Coates with Michelle Godin. Together we're Baldy and the Blonde. We changed up today's show at the last minute because of the horrific events in Utah with the murder of Charlie Kirk, who was a tremendous young voice and was extremely influential, especially among the youth. He was a founder of Turning Point USA something like 10 or 11 years ago, and he changed the landscape. And he always spoke the truth. And because he always spoke the truth and he changed the landscape, that's why somebody killed him.
That's why, exactly. And it's now being reported that the shooter is at large and shot from 200 yards away. So, goes along with my unsubstantiated theory, and it's just mine, based on nothing, but that it was a perfectly placed shot from 200 yards away. I think it was an assassination, or as Tom said, a public execution of one of the most influential conservative leaders in the United States and a potential future president of the United States.
Well,
the left never stops, okay? They never stop.
It was an absolute bullseye from reportedly 200 yards.
Bullseye,
And
right into the jugular.
And again, we don't know the truth about any assassinations or assassination attempts going back decades, and we're not going to about this one, even though we have the Trump administration and the so-called right guys in charge of the FBI. They're so corrupt. I'm not saying that the guys at the very top are corrupt, but they're also temporary players that come and go, and the establishment knows that.
They're just waiting for, they're biding their time, so to speak, Biden.
Yeah.
So,
Michelle, let me interject something, because you said something right before the break that I wholeheartedly agree with. That this is a sad day in America, and for a while, it is 100% about Charlie Kirk and his family and his loved ones.
Yes.
And it is 100% about them right now at the human level. However, as time goes by, it's a sad day for America because of what this represents from a different perspective, from a bigger perspective, that we cannot coexist with them and they cannot coexist with us. They've shown that. They cannot peacefully coexist with us.
They cannot.
And that's frightful.
So what do we do with that? What do we do about that?
Well, what you do is you get up every day and do the right thing.
Yep.
That's what you do.
That's what we've been doing, though. That's what our side's been doing.
Getting
our butts
agree with
kicked,
that.
all right? Getting our asses kicked.
But that's what makes it so frightening, because at some point it becomes the right thing to do something that you never really thought you would do.
That's right. And,
And I'm not going to voice anything, but come on.
Well, we could talk about peaceful divorce,
Well, we could talk about peaceful divorce, and that's really what we need.
Peaceful divorce. Just take a line down the middle of the country, left on the left, right on the right. I'll move to whatever side is the free side, and that would be the right.
Yeah, they can. I've often said that they can draw a line either east and west or north and south, and they can take first pick on which side they want. We'll take the leftovers,
and we'll do better.
And be done with them.
Be done with them.
And once you've chosen your side, you're not allowed to go to the other side.
You're not, because once they go broke and a bunch of whiny babies waiting for, whose feelings are hurt because they've divided their society into so many ridiculous victim classes that no one, they're just looking, they'll have no one to beat up on if we're not there.
Yeah, no one
to execute.
Yeah, right. Oh, no, they will go after their own.
Oh, eventually, that's true. That is true.
They do.
First thing Mao did was kill all of his close supporters when he got in. So I forgot about Matthew on the line. Let's can we take his call now? Tom, is a good time.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
Right, go ahead. Hey, Matthew. Go ahead, Matthew.
Well, hello, Michelle.
Hey, Matthew.
Hello, Baldy. Tom.
Hey, Matthew.
So it appears that they're done talking.
Yeah, seems that way.
And I'm not all leftists, of course. I'm not talking about the guys like Liberal Dan. But there's a large portion of the left which is conversation's with is over.
Yep.
And that's just a little bit scary.
It is.
Because they don't wear uniforms that say, I'm the leftist. There are some clues you can pick up on, but it's not universal. They don't all wear septum rings. And
Some kind of noise going on. Matthew, there's some kind of weird noise coming from you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. That's my tape gun.
There we go.
It's only a semi-automatic tape gun. But it's just, how long is it going to be before we start getting people on our side calling for gun control?
Oh, no. That's not happening.
Oh, it will, though. It will.
Well, they're not really on our side if they say that, right? These are just the rhinos in waiting and the squishes and all the lightweights and secret Democrats that pretend to be conservative libertarians. And I mean with a little L.
I sincerely hope you're correct and it's all those people, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was some people who were fairly high up.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I think most of them are high up. I mean, I think that probably who knows who engineered this, but I mean, would I be shocked if it came from people who consider themselves rhinos? No. Not really.
No, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Nope. So the way I'm talking about divorce is, I mean people who are for liberty and people who are for controlling everyone else, and that's how I see it. Because what we have now is, I mean, honestly, we just can't get away from just saying what this really is. And thank you for your call, Matthew. It's evil. This is evil. Evil has shown its face.
Again,
it's leftist.
just did a show on evil.
We just did one. And that's who these people are. These are evil people, and I will not be polite anymore. I've had it. So that's it. Unfriend me, everyone. Go for it.
Okay, well, hang on a second.
Yeah.
I do want to say this because as you know, I have a lot of friends all across the political spectrum. I have close friends, family members who identify as trans and non-binary, and I get along with everyone very sincerely because they get along with me very sincerely. They're loving and kind. Not everybody is violent. We're not saying that.
But the violence comes from them, from the left.
From the left, it does. But I do want to say this, and I know that some of them listen to the show, either live or go back and listen to it at baldyandtheblonde.com. Any of you who celebrate this, and I know there's plenty on the left celebrating this today.
I could read some of the. I have some of them in my phone. So
any of my close associates who are celebrating this, you can feel free to just cross me off your friend list.
Yep.
Because I just can't associate with that. Now, I don't think anybody in my close circle is like that.
Oh.
But if you're listening and you are celebrating, you can take me off the list.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Let's hear from some more of our friends on the left. Did we play 92 yet?
We have not, and you know what? This one, I don't remember at all. I just remember it's about a 2-minute compilation of a lot of different people. That's all there is.
Well, we'll just play a few, because I would stipulate at this point that you can go clip after clip, and when they try to rebut and turn around and say, well, listen to your side, it'll be something like, a man cannot be a woman and play on the woman's team. And play on the woman's team. That's hate. Okay.
That's hate, right.
So... Sorry. All right, let's try a little more of the love talk from the left.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
That was Kamala. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
Only if they win, yeah.
And when they win, but if they're not, then you must be uncivil.
That's it. That was Hillary.
Uncivil means violent.
That was Hillary, by the way. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying that uncivil includes violence.
Yeah. Yes. This,
What
I
else
believe,
you
is Pelosi.
Risings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
I cut her off a little bit. She said, I can't believe there are not uprisings all over the country.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be.
Yeah, maybe there will be. Yeah, cross your fingers. Maybe there will be.
Like,
Wouldn't that be great?
don't you think tomorrow, Tom, that in response to Charlie Kirk's murder at the hands of leftist violence, no doubt people in MAGA hats will be burning their cities down, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. You'll see that.
Yeah, of course. Let's see what else we got here.
Because burning cities, I mean,
It's what we do.
it's
Right?
The right is always torching entire cities
I mean,
constantly.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody tell them they're not.
try to get past
Yes.
that.
Unholy water.
I am outraged. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
That was the plastic-faced, Botox-faced Madonna.
Yes,
talking
I have
about,
thought about blowing up the White House.
right.
Now, what if say Mel Gibson had said that while Biden was president? What would have happened to him?
His ass would be under the jail. Exactly.
Oh yeah. He would absolutely be in prison.
Absolutely. And look, you couldn't even have an incorrect meme under them. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Without risking jail. So it's just a terrible, terrible day. But I honestly, I guess it could get worse, and I guess it will, because it's what they want. And you cannot tell me that this isn't going to have serious consequences and possibly alter the course of American history, which I think it already has, because I think he was going to be president.
The trajectory is getting worse, and there's no reason to think it's going to turn around soon.
None. Thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk and his 2 children and wife in what was clearly a public execution of a great and honorable American. We'll be back. Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. This is Michele Godin, along with Tom Coates, here on a very horrible, tragic day in America, where one of the young, bright future and current leaders of the conservative movement, Charlie Kirk, was publicly executed in what I believe is a direct result of leftist violence, period. We have 3 calls. We'll start with Dotsie from Metairie.
Hey, I love your show. I was just planning on, listening to you like I normally do, because I agree with y'all, and I feel pleasantly happy. I'm absolutely horrified. I immediately contacted the White House and told him anything he has to do.
Absolutely.
Full metal jacket.
Well,
Full metal jacket. I am done. I am done.
It's terrible, Dottie. I appreciate
I'm
your
so
emotion.
upset.
So upsetting. A fine young man, 2 children, went around the country, as Tom was saying, so respectful to his opponents that they would end up plenty times, kind of shaking his hand. He'd say, "You want a hat?" They'd be like, "Nah, thanks." But it was really it was so productive, and that's why he was taken out, in my opinion, no matter what story they end up giving us, because we all know at this point that we never get the truth, that he was executed.
This woman killed on the train?
Yes.
We're all that woman now.
Yes, we are.
We're going to have BLM for a year if Trump does not. I said, President Trump, they call you a dictator. I voted for you. I want you to be a dictator.
Thank you for your call, Dotsie. Call us again sometime. I appreciate your level of anger and being upset. I share that with you, but I don't want a dictator anyway, especially not Trump. Okay, but I like him, but no. Okay, no dictators. All right. We have. Let's go with Chris at the bar. Chris, are you at a bar?
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Chris.
No, not actually. I'm driving through Ponchatoula.
Aha.
But I just that was kind of a sentimental tag.
Oh no, I know. Chris used to call in our show back in the day all the time from a bar.
He was always.
He really was at a bar.
Don't kid yourself. He was under the bar.
He was.
Well, I am driving, so if you hear glass breaking or anything like that, just go to the next caller.
See you at the beach corner. Go ahead.
I was just going to chime in. I don't think the paradigm is left and right anymore. I think
it's not
American and communist.
You know what?
And
well said, Chris. I agree.
It's gotten to the point where they're the authoritarians.
Yes, they are.
We're the fascists and the authoritarians. They are the ones that if we don't comply, and you guys were mentioning, well, maybe we'll give them one half of the country and we'll take the other half. They're never going to leave us alone.
No, you're right. What do we do?
You got to fight them.
Yeah,
and there's an
maybe.
interesting historical parallel. Go back and look at what was going on in Germany in the teens and 20s of the last century.
Yeah.
And they were literally fighting in the streets.
Well, and it could end up that way here. I would prefer to have a peaceful divorce, amicable, but I hear you that they're never ever happy, never.
I don't think
and they're never ever peaceful.
For that.
And that's right, Tom. They're never peaceful. They never are. We are such little good soldiers.
When they were in power, what did they do? They arrested all of those people that were in Washington.
That's right.
They threw them in jail. That's exactly what Stalin did.
You know what? You're so right. You're so right. That is exactly what happened. They went after people for misdemeanors, grandmas praying at the rosary at abortion clinics, Catholics in the Latin Mass, parents at the PTA. I've had it with these absolute communists.
Yeah.
That is what they are.
And
Great point.
And you mentioned it earlier. Putting out a meme.
Yeah, putting out a meme. Guys in jail for saying, "Oh, Hillary voters, please, your election is on Wednesday." When not one person believed it. Even if they did, they're a moron and they should go to jail for being a moron.
Just taking a stroll through the White House after being invited in.
Oh, my God. Well, thanks for the call, Chris. Don't be a stranger, and we'll meet you at the bar next week.
All right.
All right, cool. Thanks, Chris. Next up, John.
Hey. Good afternoon, my fellow colleague, Michele.
Hello, John. How's it going?
Not good.
Not good. Terrible. Public execution of Charlie Kirk because of what he was.
Pam Bondi and Cash Patel need to do, they need to put all these bastards, agents of Lucifer, under the prison cell.
Agents of Lucifer.
Starting
Absolutely.
with George Soros.
Yes, sir.
They need... Arrest him now. He's the cause of all this.
Well, you ever listen to WWL in your spare time and what goes on that radio station owned by the Soros family? Oh, my God. Horrific.
Listen to maybe if Bobby Hebert is on.
Well, yeah.
Game. I gave up that station.
Yeah, I can't. No, but I do occasionally like to hear what the competition is doing, and they are disgusting. Scoot, oh my God, he is. I don't know, an agent of Lucifer. I like that. Excellent.
Scoot accused me of using his credentials to go interview Marie Osmond a few years ago. He said, "Don't ever use my credentials again." I said, "I got my own credentials."
I don't want to ask you why he accused you of that, but I think I have an idea. Is it because of your last name?
I guess because
okay. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for the call, John. I appreciate it, and we'll listen to. We'll just go ahead and plug your show. What is it? Oh, gone. Sorry, John. Anyway.
Well,
Tom,
I've stolen many a credential, and it's never been to see Marie Osmond.
No, I would agree. We're going to use our credentials for something a little more interesting, but that would be Scoot. That's what Scoot wants. And John has a show. It's the John Swisher Show, as in Swish. And what's the name of his show? Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. Yeah, so this is Louisiana for sure. Tom, do you have any, I don't know, we're going to have 2 minutes or 3 minutes left, but...
how much time we got right now?
How much time we have, Kobe?
A little over 2 minutes.
2 minutes, a little bit more, Tom.
All right, well, you know what? Why don't we just take a moment to just maybe plug the next show, because we had to shelve it this week.
Yeah, we did.
Literally at the last minute.
Last minute, exactly. Go ahead, you explain it.
Yeah, we had prepared, because obviously the anniversary of 9/11 is upon us. Tomorrow is that. And so we had prepared a look back on 9/11 with close-up witness accounts. Basically, the whole show was going to be listening to people who were right there on the scene at the Pentagon, at the towers, in Shanksville, and what they saw, what they heard.
It's shocking, you know.
It is.
And let me just say, Tom, I'm going to interrupt you because I want to say just a few little things. For example, witnesses said they saw rivers of molten steel. That does not happen in a fire. And I'm bringing that up because Cody, our producer, was 2 when it happened. So there's a lot of our audience that doesn't know any of this. Or, other reporters standing there saying there's no plane debris, no debris from a plane at the Pentagon, no debris from a plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. No people, no bodies, no nothing. and not a really big hole either, 10 by 15. So
Yeah, if you could look at the photos and videos your own self. Anybody can go online and find it, and there's no evidence of a plane. It's just not there. If they didn't tell you that it was a plane crash, you would never conclude that it was a plane crash.
And so then the natural question of the audience is, well, what do you think happened? We don't know.
I don't have an alternative theory.
We just know that, as usual, they don't tell us and they lie. So, I'm sure that whatever happened to Charlie Kirk, we'll never know. Unless somebody got a video of the shooter 200 yards away, perfectly placed bullet, perfectly placed to kill him instantly. And I know they didn't say that, but anyone saw the video knows what I mean. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, y'all, this has been a very horrible, tragic day, and pray for peace in America. We need it.